really is as ghastly as he comes over on TV. That's a terrible thing to say about you,
You've made that up. That's not true. Yes, you did. You're trying to be controversial because you don't want a smooth running show. Because that's what nearly happened to that show I was in until I arrived, of course.
It's a good job you arrived in there. You really stirred things up, didn't you?
Well, I didn't mean to, of course. People say, did I have a game plan? In actual fact, no, I didn't at all. But when I arrived and they didn't have those beds sorted out for me, I thought, well, hello, we might get a game plan. And I was after that bus, yeah?
You see, now I've met you, I know that there was no game plan because you are who you are. And
exactly.
There's absolutely no game plan there at all.
We're going to get on fine.
I know we are.
You should have come on the bus.
Shall we have a look at Shall we have a look at the highlights? And David and I will just get better
come on.
acquainted.
Let's look at me.
There we go.
One of the best moments was listening to Nicola rant her last rant at me as she left the jungle.
Your game is very good, better than mine. Everyone watching because he's a snake in the grass.
He's a snake in the grass. Bye-bye. If I had to sum up my time in the jungle, I'd say, well, it's been one hell of an experience. I'd like to say to all of you, it's been a pleasure, but it'd be like my mischievousness, my little devilishness came out. And it's something I don't regret. I wouldn't change a thing. Yes.
Do you realise how irritating you were being to those poor...
I don't think I was irritated. My little Timmy, of course, Timmy Mannix, he got a bit irritated sometimes, but they shouldn't have been so nasty to him because he meant it all, you know.
Well, Timmy's he's a nice guy, Timmy. He doesn't mean to be irritated.
And of course, it's been a great children's entertainer. If all the 4- and 5-year-olds had been watching, he would have been king, king, king. But of course, it was an adult arena as well, so he was falling, you know, in between a bit.
Are you glad Joe won in the end?
Absolutely, yeah. He saved my life a couple of times, I think. And when he came in and confessed, he had that prick of conscience, say, he's been badly treated. I could say it and get away, but he can't. And I fell to my knees. Thank you, God. There is justice in this world.
Yeah, he was great. I think he was going to win right from the beginning, Joe, actually, because he just said, everything as he found it, didn't he? Now, Nicola, I'm sure you've been on the phone to her many times since you've been...
Nicolou's, as I call her, of course, you know. She can't stay off the phone to me. But, you know, I hang up all the time. I'm sorry, it's too late. You should have sorted it out in the jungle. Bye-bye, darling. Off you go.
But you see, you knew she was like bait for you in the end because you knew you'd wound her up, and that really set you off.
She gave me currency. I gave her currency, actually. I thought, actually, if she'd played on a few more days with me, she might have lasted a couple more days, and I may have hit that final. But there, alas, you make these mistakes sometimes.
Yeah, you did one scheme too far. That was your
Well, I was testing it. I knew she'd rush back and set, but I didn't realise it backfired quite as well as it did, actually. And then I was out. So
yeah, but you couldn't have done poor old George out of 3rd place, could you? Did you like George?
George was lovely. I mean, he didn't do too much, but his presence, was there. And, of course, he had lots of anecdotes and that lovely wine. Yeah, we have wine. I came up on the bus one day. He hadn't seen me for a couple of days. He was lying in bed, and he said, you're back. He said, you sleep around, don't you? Because I'd slept in all the beds in the camp.
I know you had, including the bus with George.
Yes.
Now, your daughters, Olivia and Amber, they quite like Nicola.
Yes, they do. I was shocked when they came. They said she's a really nice girl. I don't know what's going on with her. I said, let's have none of that. What's she been putting in your sugar, your tea rather? Yeah. So yeah, they did. Yes, but I don't mind that. And actually, even at the airport, because she was sitting behind me on the plane, so I put the seat back, went wham like that. Oh, sorry, coffee all that.
Can you imagine?
Irritating.
30 hours with you doing that.
Yeah, it was.
You can make one of those. You remember that Shinzano advert with Joan Collins and Leonard Rossiter, where you could do that all over again. Couldn't you? That is a good idea.
I need the work.
You had a commercial game plan going in, didn't you? I mean, everybody knows who you are now, so now you've got to capitalise, right?
No, I want Kate Winslet. Can she sign my balls?
Yes, I'm sure she'll
Martina signed it already.
I'm sure she's up for that. She's coming in a few minutes' time.
Fantastic.
You're rubbing the autograph.
Take that in as well later on.
Are they? Yeah. You don't want to know about them. It's Dollar you want to talk about. Come on. The 80s. That's the big thing these days.
Dollar. What about a Dollar revival? Except Teresa doesn't like you either now, does she?
No, it's going to be a bit hard then, isn't it? Yeah. But there is a Greatest Hits album due out on Universal in the new year. Greatest Hits. First time they've been on the seat.
Oh, brilliant.
Yes.
No.
Look at that. Who's that? Who's the prettier one?
The one on the right, actually.
From your point of view, of course.
You were brilliant, though. I still remember all the lyrics to Mirror, Mirror. And I remember Guys and Dolls
Well, look,
as well,
you're going to have a bit of space, aren't you?
I could team up with you for the revival.
Exactly. And at the rap party here, whenever it is, I don't know, you should stay, of course, sexy. But why don't we do Mirror Mirror?
That is a damn good idea.
I won't charge.
Are you up for that?
Come January, you and I, the dollar revival.
Why not? I think it'll work.
Butlins all over the country.
Yeah,
well,
we'll get your heights a bit higher there. Mountains.
So there's a vegetarian cookbook. A tour with him.
Tour with Dollar.
It's all looking very good for the future.
It's all looking really rosy for both of us.
That's right, and we'll do pantomime together, eh?
That would be excellent.
Cinders, me buttons, of course, you know.
Yes.
Alternatively, you could just go home and, you know,
Pardon?
you could just go home and just relax. You don't have to go on tour. It's not signed yet.
Dollar's appealing, though, I have to say.
There you go. You see, I think I can't possibly comment, but I admire your honesty. How often have I used that remark today? Gotta get some new ones.
It is lovely, but exhausting to meet you.
Well, it should be. It should be. That's the idea, see. And the thing is, I want your seat.
That is a good idea. Well, it'd be cult viewing, wouldn't it, if you joined here in January? Would you like to sit next to
I don't think he'd...
No, not at all.
Absolutely not. We'll swap jackets now.
Very nice. Well, we'll just...
Oh, I say...
We'll just crack on. Is that Martina's thing?
That's Martina's signed ball.
Here you go, mate. Here you go.
We're going to run out of time for Kate Winslet in a moment, aren't we?
Indeed. So if you, David, if you go out that way, we'll bring in Kate this way.
I did mean that.
She's got a wonderful new film she's going to talk about.
She's very sexy. I saw those pictures of her.
David?
Very sexy.
Have
I got to go?
Yes, mate.
Can't I stay with her?
No.
Oh,
That's it.
All right, OK. Well, Emma, thank you for having me.
I'll see you in January. We don't need to rehearse, because I know all the lyrics.
I know. Well, I knew that anyway.
Cheers, David.
Well, God bless.
God bless you. Lovely to see you.
Take care.
That's quite sad, isn't it?
Waiting for me, is
Whichever way you want to go is fine.
Your time's up.
Just go.
Cheers, David. Thanks very much indeed.
That's quite sad, isn't it?
Wandering off into the jungle.
Yeah,
Bye-bye,
look forward to it. Butlins Minehead, the first gig, I think.
Nothing wrong with that. Stayed there. Right.